No. Ah. 1, 2, 3. Good evening, gremlins. I am Tom.
I'm Galen. It's evening?
It could be evening.
Oh, okay. Time is...
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's like a choose your own.
Goodbye.
No, not yet.
Not yet. We have something to say.
Yes, and that is that this is your 15 minutes of FUME.
Oh.
We are wandering through the last bits of the winter collection that we haven't smelled yet. Yes.
That's me wandering.
We've done our Christmas treats. We've done our midnight spookies. Now we're moving into a peculiar fog, which is inspired by true events. We haven't done a fragrance inspired by true events in a while. At the onset of winter here in LA, we had a very strange, unseasonal bit of fog creeping in every day for a while. It was pretty crazy.
It was weird. And we were kind of like, is this smoke or fog?
I have not taken... I know after a few wildfire seasons, it was strange to trust that this was something you could breathe.
Like, fog is not like normal here, so it was just like, I don't know what's going on. Seems okay.
We live also like further enough inland to where we don't really get the same like marine layer that can, creep in over a lot of the city.
Yeah.
So it was unusual and lasted, and it was very strange to take morning bike rides in. Low visibility. I wore my, hot pink hoodie a lot so that I stood a chance of surviving out there in the foggy streets. So in honor of this strange weather phenomenon, our perfumer Elizabeth Burial took it upon herself to commemorate the occasion with a series of 7 fragrances called Peculiar Winter Fog. So these are kind of like loosely inspired by different landscapes, different scenarios, different fogs, different occasions, different times of day. So it's like, I like these because they have a real color palette to them and also kind of just like a sense of atmosphere. So
yeah,
it was a nice break, I thought, from all of the like cozy winter treats style of perfumes, which we love. But, sometimes things are happening outside.
Can't be gourmand all the time.
Remember outside? Are you ready to begin with our first of the fogs, which is the CERISE fog?
Yes.
Well, then away we go. The notes for this one are a spun sugar sunset of amber, tangerine, and raspberry jam. So just kidding, there is some gourmand in here. This definitely smells like something that could be in a donut.
I like that it's raspberry jam and not raspberry.
Yeah,
There's something I'm like, no, it is the jam.
It's sweetened up.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of that particularly kind of like red and orange smeary sunset. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I think of.
Or I guess like there's like a sunrise situation where it's like breaking through the fog a little bit.
Yeah. Either or, sunrise, sunset, swiftly go the days.
I like the spun sugar component, which takes it into a kind of a little bit of a toasty place,
There's almost like this kind of like spooky carnival quality. I think just because of like there's like this spun sugar and like
treats.
But you're like
fruity treats.
But it's also kind of scary and foggy out.
I think this is where your imagination is doing a lot of the heavy lifting because they're truly... I can't tell for sure if there's anything like atmospherically foggy about this or if it's just treats.
It's definitely my brain. I'm just adding the creepiness.
Right.
Ooh, something could happen. It's sun setting.
The sun is setting, the fog is lowering, and everything smells of jam.
What have I done?
It's interesting because we're going through these alphabetically, and this is definitely the most innocuous, I think, of the fogs. It's like this is about as cheerful and bright and sweet as it gets.
The golden hour of the collection.
Right.
This is the one I've worn like a few times actually out of the collection because I was like, there was something about this like sunset factor that I was like, I want to smell a sunset, and I did.
And you did.
And I like it. Which is funny because it's like a not super like fruity perfume oriented, so it was kind of a surprise for me.
It's like the fog motif. It offers a bridge to those who might normally bridle
Yeah.
at like a fruit salad perfume.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, no, I'm doing this in the name of fog.
I think
So-
maybe the amber also tying everything together. I'm a big amber fan, so that's like it brings it to that nice cozy
It's true.
spot.
It's true. It pulls it back from Donut Land.
Yes.
For sure.
Donut Land.
Donut Land.
Shall we? You ain't never gonna get out of Donut Land.
Not with that attitude.
Not with that attitude.
Shall we see what lies in store for us with
In the next
the
fog.
next one? Leaden fog. So this one, it says, smoke and cinders floating thickly in a soup of orris and blackened sandalwood. Contains no actual soup.
Just kidding. No soup.
No, there's no soup.
Oh, this is very different.
Yes,
Wait,
smoke and
smoke and
cinders
cinders.
floating thickly in a soup of orris and blackened sandalwood.
It's funny because you get smoke and cinders, and then you're like, is this a wildfire or is it fog?
Yes, now you're singing a Lana Del Rey song.
It's almost like papery, and I think that's the orris.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love, okay, so the smoke and ashes note is always really fascinating to me because it's so powerful and intimidating in the bottle, but I love when she softens it up with something to like wind it into something that actually, you know, you want people to smell on
so you don't smell like you passed out in the campfire.
Right. I mean, it's not like I don't want to smell like that sometimes. However, I like a scent with range.
I like it. This is very gentle.
This reminds me of days when I had to work somewhere during bad weather in New York City, and you'd be like indoors and the light is like blotted out from outside because there's like a snowstorm or something.
Or the
And
sun
there's
really
this-
never came out that day.
Yeah, there's just like, it's like an absence of warmth. Like, it's like the chill creeping in that is more about the light than it is about the heat.
Yeah.
It's like a mental chill. The burned ashes situation has this thing of, it's like something that was once warm, you know? And now all that's left is like the cold smell.
Yeah.
This has something in it too that is a little aquatic slightly. Like it has just a humidity. There's like a cool fog smell to this.
Yeah.
That I didn't get. Like the CERISE one was more of like a, you know, bright, warm, cozy, like
Yeah.
the fog was not touching the soul in the way the leaden fog has its like icy fingers around your very soul. And ultimately like soft and you know, mysterious but like weirdly comforting. That's really nice.
Yeah. It's very soft. I don't mind hanging out in this fog. I'm not afraid.
It doesn't, I mean, I think throw-wise, too, it's not, like, super overpowering, so it really feels like something that you're doing for yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, anyone who, like, gets, like, this close to you.
And they're like, do I smell paper?
Are you ready to go on?
Further into the fog?
Okay, now we're going to do Midnight Fog.
Sure is getting late.
Midnight Fog, night blooming jasmine, wisteria and honeysuckle, breathing into a ponderous moonlit pool of sandalwood, iris, and rose attar.
Oh.
Okay, this is going to be some new stuff. Ta-da. Woo! Wow. Now that is like a burst of floral. That honeysuckle and rose combo is really fascinating. The rose takes it to this kind of like dark, mature place. Because otherwise the honeysuckle would be like bright and joyous and like romping around. And there is like a weird melancholy to this.
Oh, it's jasmine, wisteria, and honeysuckle.
Yes.
I was like, I feel like I smell jasmine too,
Yep.
but I'm like, it really smells like a like sunset walk around LA during a specific season when these flowers are in bloom.
Yes, or in this case, morning walk because of the fog.
Or I guess midnight because it is
Or
called
because
the
it
midnight
is a
fog.
midnight fog, right?
I'm like,
right.
why am I walking around at midnight? How can I
Okay.
smell all these flowers?
What if it's like it's like Mulholland Drive. In the bottle, I'm not even getting the sandalwood yet because it's just like so many individual flowers kind of vying for attention. I can pick out like jasmine, wisteria, honeysuckle kind of blur together a little, But then there's that very kind of somber iris note, and then the rose, which is kind of, almost kind of like sticky. Let's put it on and see if I can get any of that sandalwood.
I feel like I can tell the sandalwood is there.
It's present.
I know. I do know. But I'm not really pulling it out yet.
It's a very moody late night floral. It reminds me almost a little of like the caterpillar in that it has that kind of like
jasmine,
heady but like dark.
Yeah.
Very contemplative.
Might be sandalwood in the caterpillar too. I'm not sure.
I think so. So it's like
a little bit of the squishy cushions, which was part of the
Fool's Journey.
Yeah, the Fool's Journey for the Empress, because that had like a jasmine rose, and it was super just like lush and like.
I feel like this is a perfume that I can luxuriate into with no judgments. I don't know whose judgments I'm normally worried about, but when you're in the fog, what happens in the fog stays in the fog. You know what I'm saying?
Are you getting the sandalwood? I'm not.
Not really. And maybe that's because we just smelled one that was a little more sandalwood forward, so this one is going to be like a little more overshadowed. We'll return to it in a little bit and see if maybe it's had time to
Those the night bloomers are real strong with this one, and it's a lot of fun if you like that, which I do.
It's like they're truly just like kind of creeping up on you. It's really beautiful. It has like a kind of a vaguely sexual menace.
Yes, that's it.
That's like
what I'm getting.
The weird fog experience too is like particularly in very dense fog, it's like being like completely surrounded by something. So, all right. Next, we are going to move on to a little bit high concept, radiation fog. It's too late. By the time the radiation fog siren has sounded, it's too late. Radiation fog. Not nearly as nuclear as it sounds. A swirl of gentle aquatic notes evaporating against pale amber sunlight.
All right.
I can handle that.
It does sound more pleasant than like...
It's like, it reminds me of when I'm on my bike ride in the morning in the fog, and I go down by the LA River, and there's a huge electrical power plant right there, and you can hear the electricity crackling. It's very strange. And I'm sure people work there, but I almost never see anyone there, no matter what time of day or night I go.
But you do hear the buzzing.
Ooh. Okay, so... in the bottle, this is kind of like a bright and shiny aquatic.
Yeah, very clean.
I think the amber is really valuable here and is what's going to keep it from going into like a soapy direction. Pale amber sunlight. It could have like, I was going to say it might have some kind of citrus in there. Are you getting that?
Like there's some kind of tang.
Like a bright, mellow, green citrus. This is a kind of like a cool to lukewarm, like watery green fog.
I like this. I don't wear a lot of aquatics. But this is speaking to me. Perhaps I think it's amber.
Again, that amber is just such an agreeable note to help kind of like lead you gently up to like thresholds that you might not otherwise approach. Because, I like the aquatics in theory on the skin. I just find them very like not comforting in a way. Like I like a perfume that kind of creates a vibe, whether it's like comforting or sexual or whatever, that's just something like inviting. I don't find the aquatics to be terribly inviting, which is why when there's something like this that kind of blends that a little bit, there's something about this that definitely just like invites you to kind of lean in and nuzzle a little bit, and that would be the amber. It's
just like soft and charming. I don't know.
It is very charming.
Yeah.
It's like the radium, where it's just like, the light emitted by this
so pretty.
is so pretty. Like, why don't I just paint it all over my eyelids, lips, and fingernails? Oh no.
Oh no, Marie Curie.
I know.
I did a report on her in 5th grade.
And it all led to this moment.
Ask me what I know. Trust me, a lot of it's gone.
You know that you did a report on Marie Curie.
That's what I remember.
Right. You'll never take that away from you. The longer this sits on my skin, the more I like it. It really does have a kind of a flickering like warmth, like the sun starting to like filter in through.
On the water. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit, or would pair very well with our 51, our Area 51 scent, which is a kind of like salt flats with some like weird green like melon musk. Is that situation?
Pair it together, you bring it a little bit closer to a body of water. Then
Yes.
you're not as like stranded in the desert.
It's like sweetening up even more gradually. So like the initial puff was much more
That is very sweet on
mineralic, and it has gone sweeter in a way. This is what I like. See, I would be able to put it on and know, like, look forward to the fact that I know that this will happen. Because sometimes it's like that aspirational fragrance dabbing where you're like, I'm not in it for how I'm going to smell for the next 5 minutes. It's how I'm going to smell for the next 15 to 75 minutes that I'm really chasing.
I like the album as a whole, but it's really those last 4 songs that I'm all about, so I wait for the rest of it just to get to it. It's like that.
Well, and with Perfume, you can't rush to the last 4. You can't skip ahead
It's about the journey.
to the last 4
You
tracks.
must be patient, as I am with those albums.
Very soothing.
Yeah.
Shall we see what awaits us in the sea smoke? A thin cloud of haze rising from the ocean, flecked with ambergris and streaked with silvered kelp. Now, I bet that's not a phrase you ever thought you would associate with a beauty product that you would willingly put on your skin. Okay, now that's an aquatic of a different color. Wow, where the other one had some kind of like bright shimmer to it.
This is salt water.
It's saltwater and it's dark. It's like you're under the pier. Do you remember in Pickup on South Street?
I thought you were going to say beaches.
No, there's no sea smoke in beaches.
Under the boardwalk?
No, in Pickup on South Street, where that criminal lived in a weird shack off the edge of the pier that you had to like climb a little ladder to get to.
Yeah.
And it was dark and foggy in there, and he had his beer stashed in a crate that he would like lower into the river. Yeah.
No icebox.
No.
So,
no electricity.
Not in my little shanty.
And then Jean Peters, as like the dame in the movie, had to go like out there to visit with him to like bargain to try to like get this like microfilm back. And as a glamorous woman, trying to get even in and out of a shack like that is like a hilarious endeavor. So this is more along the lines of the kind of like sans comfort aquatic that I was just talking about not liking. However, the ambergris is just so smooth and gray, and it does kind of weirdly have arms that enfold you. And I don't know about this being streaked with slivered kelp situation, but don't knock it until you've tried it. There's like a real creaminess to this. Here come the leaf blowers.
I mean, it is similar to Cthulhu.
It feels like a little more...
But, like... what's the other... There's another...
Swamp Skank.
Yes, it's more like that.
It's got the saltiness and the seaweed of Swamp Skank, for sure. We're just going to power on through the leaf blower noises because there's just no way to coordinate with them, and we only have 2 cents left.
Just ignore it. Think of it as like a Lynchian drone.
Oh, yes.
That we can't hear.
We're not aware of it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because of the ambergris, there's something almost kind of gentlemanly about this. It has like a kind of a weird maturity and an air of sophistication.
Yes.
It also, and while it's not as comforting as like the amber, for example, it's not quite like, it doesn't give you that warm, like uplifting feeling. There's still something very, what is it about? I don't know, it's just kind of suave.
Yeah, it is.
But you have to, you definitely have to be a good sport when it comes to the aquatic nature of this, because that is a part of the ride.
Yes. If you're like not wanting to smell like salt water or anything, then
right.
I would say avoid it.
You just can't,
there are the whole thing.
We have other fogs for
right.
you. This particular peculiar fog is for...
There's almost like a sea foamy quality in it all, which
know,
I really
like
find delightful.
A strange like frothiness.
Yeah. I like that.
A gentlemanly frothiness,
Fun!
But not in any bad ways that you might be thinking, which I don't even know what those would be, but like
Might club you over the head and take you out on his boat.
All right.
All right. Ooh, does he smell that good?
Right. Does the boat smell like this? Because I'm listening. Offers head.
Whew. Is it hot out here in the fog?
All right. Next we have upslope fog. Moist clouds rolling lazily up and down low hills of wild grasses, sagebrush, and wildflowers, curling gently around gnarled oaks, majestic pines, and craggy stones. Now this really describes, I think, the kind of fog that we are experiencing out here on the east side, where there's lots of hills and parks, like, you know, we're right up toward the foothills of the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough to where there's like a lot of nature mixed in with your fog. It's not all like Blade Runner, like skyscrapers and, you know. Whew. Wow.
I feel like we've been out to sea so long that this is like, I'm back at land.
Well, your legs aren't going to work.
but my legs don't work. Somebody drag me.
It's fascinating because this reminds me a little bit of some of the scents we've done, like Ranger and Theo. I know more. I can't speak. You know what I mean. These like robust, foresty, woodland scents. I'm smelling. Are you smelling an oud?
Yes.
I'm getting an oud.
Is that listed?
No, but it is a wood. You know.
I definitely smell oud.
It's like a bit dry, a bit smoky, but it's like cool, and there is like a gray settling in. Like it's got like a real mood to it. And honestly, I'm happy because some of these like scents that include pine, like it becomes all I can smell.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great when you really want to smell like pine, but it's nice to have it just incorporated into like an entire ecosystem. Wow.
Oh, so much more just like popped out immediately on the skin.
Yeah.
Can I see the notes again?
Yes. We've got your grasses, sagebrush, and wildflowers. Gnarled oaks, majestic pines, and craggy stones. So yeah, like the coolness and the grayness of the stones mixed with the kind of like low, close to the ground, like grasses and such. But then you've got like, you know, this atmospheric quality.
And the flowers are there, though not strong. It's like, it's really just a part of it. And I can pick out that there are flowers in it, but I'm like, it's just a really big forest that I'm in.
I think because of the oud, also there just is this kind of wild funk to it, which really cements the idea that you're like out in a world that you don't have like control over because things are just allowed to smell like this, apparently, and we are just inhabitants of that environment.
Mm-hmm.
So far, this might be my favorite of the ones that I've smelled, and I'm really surprised. Oh, I want to go back real quick before we do the last one and see if I can get the sandalwood in that one that was jumping out with flowers everywhere. Was that the midnight fog?
Yes.
It's woodier.
Oh, I do get it.
Yeah.
The flowers are still like singing.
They are,
They
but
have held that note.
they're like they're tempered a bit. Fascinating.
The sandalwood does come through.
And it just makes it warmer, which is really nice.
Yeah, I really like that one.
All right, we got one last, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, the last one we have is violet fog. A November twilight, orris root and white sandalwood bruised by violet petals, champaka attar, and smoked lavender. Ooh. I like that it says November twilight because that's definitely the kind of period when we would have been working on the winter collection. So it kind of helps like ground this in even like a more specific time. Orris, sandalwood, violet, champaka, and smoked lavender. A mood. Ready?
Yes.
We don't smell a ton of violet. Have you noticed that the lab doesn't do a lot of violet? This is unlike any lavender scent I have in my collection.
I have worn this to bed a few times. This is the other fog that I tried on, and I really like it.
It's super gloomy.
It is.
It really has like there's a impassive, like
it's that like pale grayish purple color.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I'm getting almost like concrete, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a kind of a hardness and a coldness to it. The Champaka Attar really reminds me of the shell box from Loopers last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar, but whereas that was like a bright, like warm, salty seaside situation, this is really just like a weird swirling, like you leave the absinthe bar and start to wobble home and realize that the alley is just very dark.
And purple.
Wow. Really just really dry, like there's not like a sweetness. So many of the lab's lavenders are, you know, like mellowed and grounded with a kind of like a sweetness. And this one just like, it's just like mysterious swirls that go nowhere. It's dark and absorbing. And very dark purple. And the Champaka is emerging as like maybe kind of the only brightness in it, weirdly. There's something kind of like light and airy about that. I know. It's very interesting. It's like perfumey, but it's not like sentimental.
I mean, like, I don't mean this disparagingly. It smells old.
Yes.
Like
primordial.
Yeah, like it's just like the scent has existed for a long time outside
Right.
of time and space.
It's the kind of thing I would expect actually to see in the An Evening with the Spirits. It's that kind of like haunted seance situation. The smoked lavender is so mesmerizing. Like I would like more of my lavender to be smoked, please. Can you smoke lavender? It's like the only thing I haven't smoked.
I think you can in Europe.
Just, you know, smoke a little lavender before bed to like calm the nerves. It's a joke. It's a joke. It is. I have to say that as it kind of like settles into the skin, it's like the darkness is kind of fading and it's just like a little more like gray violet. You know, like it makes it. Maybe I'm just getting used to it, but it's like It's like agreeable. It's like I feel like it's making a compromise with me. Chemistry wise, it's like, all right, well, we got to live with each other for the next little while, so you don't mess with me, I won't mess with you. Wow, going back now to that original one with the jam.
Oh yeah.
Smells preposterous because it's the only thing in this that has been so sweet. And it's like something from a different universe. It's like when you get like a message, like a pop-up from a Facebook or Instagram memory from years ago before there was a global pandemic. And like you were doing something fun, you know, and someone was like breathing right in your face and you're just like, wow, that happened to a different person. But I'm glad she's here. Whew. What a interesting, peculiar, clammy, smoky, radiation tinged series of sleep paralysis demons.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to do some winter aquatics, you know?
You know, everything's frozen in the winter, so...
I mean, elsewhere.
To just, like, hang out in the water for a bit.
Yeah.
Might be kind of fun. Not really, because it's cold.
Like,
so just in sun.
In my fantasy, it's like the swimming pool scene in Cat People from the 1940s where she's just, like, treading water in the pool in the dark, screaming while, like, cat shadows, like, prowl around. That is the vibe. That's the mood board for this scent collection. So.
She's like, I just came to say hello.
Yeah, some of you have likely smelled these already by now because they've been out for a little bit. So we'd love to hear your impressions in the comment section.
What kind of fog are you?
Yeah, what's your dream fog?
I think mine is the one with all the night blooming ones. Even though I said that I was like a big fan of the CERISE and the violet, I have actually changed my mind in trying all of these on.
You like all of them.
They're all good. But I think Midnight Fog is what I would explore the most in.
It's funny because I wanted to save these for a while until the holiday stuff had died down or whatever, because this is just kind of quiet and contemplative and attached to nothing specific. And these will be up for months and months, so they'll be available through the spring and like the foggier seasons elsewhere, you know. So I'm happy that there will be occasion to wear these beyond just, you know, the holidays, etc. I thought that's a nice thing to pack into a winter release. So yeah, keep us posted on your fog wanderings. And we will be back really soon sniffing some of the new lunacy things. And whatever, there's a lot of that stuff actually, and whatever etc. manages to pop out, you know, in the meantime. So, yeah. Good luck out there.
See you in the fog.
Foghorn North. There's something in the mist.
Don't go into the fog.
Bye.
Bye.